Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is another story time. This event happened when I was still very young. I was still in primary school. I think I should be around, I was probably maybe 7 or 8. And this happened, and my small mind then, as young as I was, I couldn't for the life of me believe why another human being would do this just because of a man, a boy that I would cry anytime they say I should come and sit down close to a guy in class. This stinky, sweaty, smelling, annoying creature and another human being wanted to end it all because of a guy. I couldn't understand. So let me tell you guys how this happened. Well, my father was the landlord of the house that we were staying. So this particular auntie was our tenant, right? Our tenant had a wife, a very beautiful Igbo woman, very beautiful, so light-skinned that they gave birth to a daughter that was like half caste. And I was so close to their daughter, so close to our tenant, right? So his brother had a girlfriend who is the person I'm talking about in this story. Let's name her Vanessa, and let's name his brother Gabriel. So Gabriel was the younger brother to our tenant, and he had a girlfriend called Vanessa. So Gabriel wasn't really like a frequent visitor to our house, and like I said, I was really close to that tenant, and I was always, coming to play with their daughter. We were so close. In fact, when she did her christening, these people that would follow the mother of the child to help them carry their child when the priest wanted to pray for the child, I was the one that did that for them. Yeah, so I was so close to the girls. I was always in their house. So I would always see when Auntie Vanessa would always come around. Auntie Vanessa was a beauty queen. You know what they say, beauty queen? She was from Calabar, and you know how these Calabar women can be so fine. She was like an outcast, as if probably one of her parents were not from Nigeria, like this white, but no, both of her parents, as I came to find out, were both black people. I don't know how they gave birth to such a beautiful girl. She was like a half caste. If you see her hair, and this girl does the bare minimum because she's already so beautiful. Her hair was just like, how this half caste hair will be coily, and she used to use glasses then. She will wear her glasses. Her skin, her nails used to be so neat. Like, I admire her. When you stare, you just keep looking at somebody like, I admire her so much. And this guy, this Uncle Gabriel, was not fine. The guy didn't have height. He didn't even have a good sense of dressing. Even as young as I was then, I knew that this uncle they dress, I don't like. Like the guy, there was really nothing too exciting about the guy, for him to have bagged such a woman. So it wasn't long before everybody fell in love with this auntie, because anytime she's coming, she always comes with goodies. Like anytime she's coming, she will buy so much presents for their daughter, the baby of the wife of the person that she's dating. So she would always buy clothes, she would buy shoes, she would buy pamper, like she will buy a lot anytime this Auntie Vanessa was coming. And she also used to buy for me too whenever she comes, because she knows that most of the time she would always meet me in the house, or when she asks, oh, where is so and so baby, they'll say, she's with me, right? Our tenant now decided to introduce this woman to my mom as well, so she became a friend of our family as well. So when she comes to see them, she will always also come to see my mom, to say hi, and she would also buy gifts and stuff like that for my mom as well. So we really liked her. Everybody was waiting for when the wedding was going to happen. So I noticed one day, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together because it was my own. I was really young. I noticed one day this uncle came to the house, but he came with a lady. And this lady just she didn't even dress well. Like, she just wore one gown like this and used the veil to cover. She was so black, so I didn't think anything of it. They came in, when they knocked, we go and open the gate. They came in and walked in and got into the house, and that was it. The next thing, we were in the parlor watching a movie, my dad, my mom, everybody, all of us, my sisters, and then we started hearing serious shouting, screaming. and we ran outside, and lo and behold, Auntie Vanessa was holding a very, very big rod. She was holding that rod, crying. Her hands were bleeding. The next thing again, she would pick the rod. Boom! There was a vehicle parked in front of our house. We had another tenant with another beautiful auntie. That auntie used to dash us clothes a lot because she was a fashionista, she was also a student. She was a fashionista, and her boyfriend used to come to visit. So that car outside was her boyfriend's car. All these aunties with a vibe, slay queens, So her boyfriend was the one that parked the car outside. So that this auntie was using this stick to hit. She would hit it, bam! And people were scared to go close to her. By that time, the entire street had gathered in front of our house. They were scared, so she doesn't use the stick, because if you are trying to come close to her, she would swing the stick. So people didn't want to. Even my mom was shouting, let my dad not go. But my dad, I've always known him to be a very courageous and brave person, even till the last breath. You understand? So my dad was pissed because things like this actually annoyed him, and my dad used to hate it when you destroy things that has value. The next thing, my dad he didn't care. As she was swinging, he walked up to her and pulled the stick out of her hand, like, young girl, what is wrong with you? Why are you doing this? He didn't even recognize that was the person that used to come to our house, because so the next thing, our tenant's wife came outside, and then the husband of the guy, the husband who she was dating, his brother also came outside. And then when he came outside, and they were calling her name, so he was like, you know her? He said, yes, it's that girl that used to. My father is like, so why is she doing this? What's wrong with her? Why is she doing this? The next thing we saw, this auntie started gathering the glass from the windscreen she was breaking, and she started chewing it, that she wanted to die. That if she started shouting his name, let him come outside. She knows he's there. Let him come outside. That if he doesn't come outside, she will kill herself right now. That she will chew this glass and die. That it's better she dies than he hurts her the way he's hurting her. So that was how I was beginning to put two and two together. That okay, she had an issue with this uncle, and it's like this uncle. But this uncle is inside now, because his brother and the wife started saying, no, he's not around, he has left, he's not around, he has left. And in my mind, I'm like, I didn't see when this guy went home now. He had left, the guy was not around. People in our street, women started to now understand, they started sympathizing with her. But at that point, my dad was pissed, because he was like, nobody is going to come herself in his house. Number two, you came and you damaged a property belonging to the tenants, because imagine if it was his own car that was outside, he would have broken his car even without knowing who had the car. So my dad, was it my dad that called the police, or somebody on our street decided to call the police, and the police came and they took her away, and my dad and the tenants and all of that. And then they went, my mom also dressed up, because my mom started crying, because my mom loved this girl, dressed up and took her went to the police station. So when they came back was when we now got the full gist. Well, you know how nice this girl I told you has been, Vanessa. What she was doing for his brother and the wife, she wasn't just doing it for them, she was doing it for his entire family. He had another brother that lived in the same area where we stayed in Kaduna. She would also, I also heard that she goes to their house and she does the same thing. She wasn't doing it because she wanted anything in return. She was genuinely a very nice person, but she was doing this because she felt like these people were like now her family. So, so that was why she was doing what she was doing. And then all of a sudden, this guy started to change, started to ghost her. He wasn't talking to her. So I didn't even know that she was always coming to the house to talk to his elder brother. Like, she doesn't know what's going on. She will also go and talk to the other one. They will say they don't know, that maybe the guy is stressed, he's this, he's that. It was from this, her sister-in-law, I would say her sister-in-law, like my tenant's wife, that she found out now, because they became very close. They were friends. She found out now that the guy had gotten a job. He was doing fine. He had bought a car, a brand new car, which she thought was his car outside that she damaged. He had bought a car. He didn't tell her. And the worst of all, he had moved on with another girl. that he wanted to marry, had even gone, as in started the process of paying the girl's bride price. The girl was from, I think, Kogi State, one ugly girl, like black like this. If you see her teeth. So the girl he had moved on with, and yeah, so the guy had moved on. And so she was wondering, like, why did nobody tell her? She kept coming, talking to his family members. They were even still collecting money from her. I think his brother even collected money from her for business. The other brother, not the one staying in our house. And he never mentioned it to her that, see, our brother has moved on. Oh, this is it. So this lady felt so bad. That was why she said, no, she can't lie to this girl. So she decided to open up to her and tell her. So she said she tried to confront the guy. The guy denied. In fact, there was no way she could. The guy moved away from the house he was living in before. And this story has a lot of twists and turns. So when this lady, when the guy brought this girl to the house that day to come and greet his brother, his elder brother, she quickly went inside the house after entertaining them, sent a text message to this girl that, see, the evidence you are looking for is here. Start coming now. They're in my house, and in fact, he's here with the girl. But please don't tell them that I told you. Let it just look as if, because she was always coming, like I said, they became friends. She was always coming to the house. So when she came, apparently she had been knocking outside, and it was the guy himself that walked out to go and see who was knocking. And in our gate, there's a way you can peep through the gate and see who was outside the door. So when the guy went out to check, I don't know what the woman was doing that she couldn't go to open the gate herself. When the guy went out to check and he saw her, she sighted him. Something like, I think she sighted him as well. He rushed in immediately, refused to open the door, and went inside. So that was why the girl was knocking. And we were watching a movie inside, so I don't think we heard the knocking. It was until we started hearing the shouting and the noises that were going on outside that we now went outside. So when she got frustrated that they weren't opening the door for her, she was trying to call this woman. This woman couldn't pick at that time. And I think as at that time, that was when it dawned on this woman, like, I didn't really think this through, I didn't expect this, because this lady, I almost called her name now, Auntie Vanessa, was really hot. So that was how she found out that the guy was there, and that was why she decided to damage his vehicle outside, which turned out to not be his vehicle. That was where we now found out when they went to the police, because her parents had to come and bail their child. The next day, her parents came over to our house. And the father, the mother, and our tenants, they came to our house to come and apologize to my father, and apologize to my father and explain the situation to him, and that they know that she's close to my mom, because she used to tell them about my mom, so they knew how she was like a family to us as well. Apparently, this girl and this guy met in secondary school. And after secondary school, it became difficult for this guy to go to school. But she loved him with her whole heart. He was her first love and her only love as at that time. And so she took him to her parents. We found out that her parents were stinkingly rich. Because of this guy too, she couldn't go to school abroad, because she chose to stay in Nigeria because of love, because her parents wanted her to even go and further her studies. So she stayed behind. And then the guy got admission, and he was a brilliant chap. So he got admission, and her parents took him through school. They trained him throughout his university education till he graduated. Do you understand? And after that, you now think you now come and dump their daughter like a rag. And the guy's excuse was that, well, at some point in the relationship, he fell out of love with the girl. He didn't love her. He cannot marry somebody that he doesn't love. But you didn't know that you didn't love her when you were collecting money for school fees. You didn't know that you didn't love her when you were collecting money for her. She said feeding everything took care of this guy. It extended not just only to him. His family members started demanding money from her as well. Even one of his brother like that she gave money to set up a business. So everybody just felt cold after hearing this, and somehow we could understand why Auntie Vanessa would have acted the way she acted, because in my head I'm like, how can somebody, because of man, that time they would tell you come and sit down close to a guy in class. In fact, that would be the worst day of your life. you know, as a small child, why would somebody like this now want to eat glass because of the guy? Because they had to take her to hospital, and I think, you know, had to find how to take some of those things out of her system. So after that, the parents said that, they would try to see how she can recover immediately. And somehow, a family friend of theirs, their son who was abroad at that point in time, was ready to settle down. So they kind of like introduced them together, and they said she fell in love with the guy. Like, I don't even think this is love, because they kind of hot. I just called her name. I'll blot it out anyway. The kind of hot Auntie Vanessa went through. I don't think that 2 months between 2 months, she had already done their wedding plans. A few months after that, she was out of the country with the guy, but I don't think she moved on like that. I just think she just had to get married to that guy to get the whole situation off her head, because I cannot believe it that it was that fast for her to get over such a heartbreak. But that was it. 2 months, she moved on, got married, and a few months later she was out of the country. And I think a year later we heard that she had given birth to her first child. Second year she gave birth to her second child as well. She kept on communicating with the sister-in-law, who is her tenant's wife, kept on communicating with her, you know, even still sending her stuff, keeping in touch. And I don't care whatever happened to the other guy, because I wasn't interested. I think we did hear what happened to him, but who cares, you know? So that was the story. So guys, tell me what you think. Have you ever done anything that crazy before for love? And has anybody ever broken your heart like that? For me, I will never be an advocate for investing in a male species. Don't do it, because it is so easy. There are so many cases of this man falling out of love for you. He no longer sees you. A woman should want and need a man, not the other way around. So he no longer sees you as what he wants, but he sees you now as a necessity, because it is necessary for him to be with you for the benefits that he's getting from you. So I would never be an advocate for anybody to invest in the male species in any way, shape or form. So till I come your way again next time, bye.